There is increasing data that shows very clearly that HIV is now getting into the rural areas. In fact, it is irrefutable fact that today the epidemic is no more an urban phenomenon as it was 15 years ago. Not only is it a fact that 60% of the infections are in rural areas, but it has penetrated successfully in a lot of the rural backward areas of the country, particularly in these four high prevalent states of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. So the strategies naturally also have to change along with the evolution of and unfolding of the epidemic. And when we looked at this data, there were several options open as to how to deal with the rural aspect of the epidemic. One option available was to do a major, massive campaign. Another was to a behavior change through self-help group, women organizations into the community. And the third option that came up was the link worker scheme that was very quietly being done on a pilot scale at Bagalkot by the KHPT. The HIV infection compared to other infections like malaria or TB or diarrhea is highly complex. It has a lot to do with having competencies and skills in trying to get these messages of HIV across to people. It also deals with a lot of marginalized and underprivileged population groups. It deals with very complex behavioral patterns, and therefore it requires a lot of capacity building, not only among government employees, caregivers like doctors and nurses, but also outreach workers. So I think developing these learning sites, best practice sites, is extremely important, because these are skills and competencies that you can't really teach in a didactic manner in a classroom through, even if the modules were most beautifully written. They cannot be explained. They have to be seen, they have to be experienced, and they have to be lived through. Even a PLHA outreach worker or an outreach worker in a sex worker site or an outreach worker from the community itself, it is not automatic that they understand how to really use their position to bring in influence behavior change and communicate these primary prevention messages. So there is this huge capacity building that we need to do. I mean, ideas of link workers is a good one, but making them effective instruments of communication is another altogether. In having a learning site like Bagalkot, it would greatly facilitate the people from other parts of the country who we select as link workers to be able to come and actually visualize their own role when they go back to their communities, and how they could probably even better it when they see a learning experience. So that is what we're hoping, and this is the first step forward, and I do hope in the years to come we'll have several learning sites all through the country, because this is again so culture specific, and it's so important that every state has its own learning site very well anchored within their own contextual framework.